Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here, and today I have a video as part of the MFT Camp Create. This is a fun summer camp event that we're hosting on our YouTube channel for 1 week in June. And we are creating a different card each day, and then we're offering a chance for you to participate. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video and you will see what the challenge is for today's card. So for today's card, I'm going to be creating a shaker card. And I'm going to be doing a little twist on this shaker card. I'm going to actually make it a window shaker that you can see through the entire card. So once we're finished with the card, you're going to be able to see the sequins inside the shaker, but you're also going to be able to see right through the back of the card as well as the front. So to start off, I'm just adding some pink ink to this piece of white, smooth white cardstock that I have die cut with the Blueprints 13 die. And I'm just using an ink blending tool to add the ink to this background. Now this is really light, it's not super dark, it's the pink lemonade ink, and that's exactly the look I was going for. I didn't really want it to be super bright pink. I just wanted a really nice light wash of pink on the background so that it kind of stands out against the silver and the blues that we're using here on the card, and then also stands out against the white of the clouds that we're going to be putting on. So to start off, I took the die, which is the cloud from the end of the Rainbow Dynamics, which goes with the little rainbow pieces that you see to the left there, and I die cut it out of the panel that I cut from the Blueprints. Now I'm going to create my card base from white cardstock, and we're going to continue to die cut with that same cloud piece. So I've left that tape stuck to the cloud because we're going to die cut it a few more times still in order to create our window card. So I've just went ahead and scored this card base at 5.5 by 4.25. It's a top folding card, and I'm just scoring along the top just to make sure it's nice and scored and folds nicely. And then I'm going to take that panel that I've already die cut the cloud from, and I'm going to position it onto the front of the card. Once I'm happy with where it is, I'm going to put the cloud back over top, kind of nestle it inside the area where I've already previously die cut. It'll fit right in there like a puzzle. And then I'm going to run that through my die cut machine again. And this time I didn't open the card. I left it completely closed so that it would die cut straight through. But because it was a little bit thick in layers, it didn't fully die cut. So I'm just going to position this right over top of this again. It did die cut enough that it has enough area that it will grab onto that die and put it right in place where it needs to be. And then I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. So now I have the panel with the pink that's die cut with the cloud, and then I have the card base, which is also die cut with the cloud straight through. So now you can see here when I have it closed, you can see right through the card. Now on the inside of the card, we're going to need another panel that's going to kind of nestle over top of that cloud area to hold our acetate. So what I did is I just kind of positioned this onto the back of the card so that I can die cut a nice smooth cloud image through the card base there. But when I adhere it onto the card, it's going to adhere on the inside. So I just put it on the back in order to die cut the cloud the same direction, and then I'm going to adhere it on the inside area. So now I have two panels and I have one card base, and everything has this cloud cut in the exact same spot so that when I adhere the panels onto the card base, they're going to line up perfectly and you're going to be able to see straight through that cloud. Now for the actual shaker part, I'm going to put the shaker area in the back panel of the card. So when the card closes, the front panel is just going to be an open window. There's not going to be anything in there, but the back area is going to have some sequins kind of suspended in the cloud. So to do that, I just first took adhesive and I completely went around that whole cloud on the inside of the card. I made sure to fully adhere the adhesive all the way around that cloud, and then I put a piece of acetate directly on top. And I just kind of cut it down to size just so it kind of fits over the cloud but is still small enough that you're not going to see it peeking out from behind the panel when we add that on top. So now I have the acetate in place. I'm going ahead and adding some sequins into the area that's what you're going to see. And I'm using some sparkling clear and some aqua sequins. And I'm adding just enough to kind of fill up the cloud, but you don't want to get too excessive with your sequins because we're not going to put any dimension on this card. Because it is the back of the card, we don't want to have a lot of dimension that's going to stop the card from closing properly. So I'm going to adhere the next piece of acetate directly over top of this. So you just want to kind of have one layer of sequins so that it stays as smooth as possible. So now that I have all the sequins in place, I'm just taking that adhesive runner once again and I'm going all the way around this cloud. Now you can use any adhesive that you want here. Just make sure it's a nice strong adhesive that's going to really hold those acetate pieces together. And once you're happy with the adhesive and you have it fully around the cloud so that you know the sequins are going to stay in that cloud area, just take a second piece of acetate and lay it over top and push down so that it fully adheres to that adhesive. And now you're going to have those sequins completely sandwiched together in between the two acetate pieces, but it looks like they're kind of floating in the middle of the cloud. Now, because we have this messy looking acetate on the inside, we definitely need to cover that up. So that's where the second panel that we die cut from just the smooth white cardstock comes in. We're going to fully cover the back of this with adhesive and then position it directly over top and line it up with the cloud in the background and adhere this down. And what this is going to do is fully cover the inside of the card and give us a great area for our sentiment, but it's also going to make the card look nice and finished on the inside so that when you open it, all you see is the cloud and you don't see any of that messy acetate or the adhesive underneath. So now we have this great window that you can kind of see right through the front of the card area. Now to decorate the front of the card, I'm taking that same end of the rainbow die and I took the pieces of the aqua and silver sparkle cardstock that I want to use in my rainbow and I flipped the die upside down and just placed all those strips back into the die, and I'm just using some tape to adhere them all together. And this is just going to make it so that my rainbow is one full solid piece and makes it a little bit easier to adhere to my card. So once I removed it from the die, I just cut the excess tape off the side so you can't see it. And now I'm fully adding adhesive to the back area so that I can add this to the front of the pink panel that we created earlier. I want this to kind of look like it's coming into the cloud or coming out of the cloud, whichever way you want to look at it. So I adhered it directly over top, let it overhang that open area, and then I used that same cloud die one more time and I ran it back through my die cut machine to cut off the excess part of the rainbow at the bottom. And now just to add a little bit more detail to it, because it is pretty simple, we're not getting too crazy with color or anything on this card. I used that same cloud die and cut out, actually I didn't even cut out, I used some of the clouds that I had already cut out of the card base, and I adhered those onto that pink panel just to have some extra clouds in the sky area that I've created. And then I adhered the whole panel directly over top of the front of the card, and all of our pieces are now fully adhered to the card. Then to finish it off, I just stamped a sentiment that says Hello Friend from the Sweet Forest Friends stamp set, and I also added some clear sequins to the outside with some silver stickles in the center. And that completes our window shaker card. And that brings us to today's creative challenge. So if you want to participate for a chance to win a $150 gift certificate to MFT Stamps, simply create a shaker card, any kind of shaker card you want, and link it up in the blog post that is linked in the description below by June 24th, and make sure you participate in the other 4 days of camp and you will be eligible for that gift certificate. You can also leave a comment on this video for a chance to win a $15 gift certificate to the MFT store as well. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next time.